Hi, my name is Mighty Nigel and welcome to Snob Free Coffee. Today we are talking about the 4 most important things that you need to know about the rate at which coffee can leave the portafilter. So what am I really saying? I'm really saying is when you adjust the grind, when you adjust the temp pressure, when you adjust the amount you put in the portafilter or the leveling of the coffee in the portafilter, that's going to affect the speed at which it comes out. But as is tradition with Snob Free Coffee, we first have to start with a crappy joke. So here's the crappy joke. What do you call a cow with no front legs? What do you call a cow with no front legs? Lean beef. Now, what do you call a cow with no legs at all? I don't know. What do you call a cow with no legs at all? Ground beef. Let's go inside. Hello, my name's Nigel and I've stuffed up 2 takes so far. So this is the 3rd take, this is the charm. We're back inside. Now we're talking about the speed at which coffee comes out of a portafilter. This is the portafilter, it comes out at a certain speed. Now why do we want the speed to come at a certain rate? Well, the reason is because at about 25 to 30 seconds for a shot, that's pretty much the best speed. So we want to adjust either the grind, the temp pressure, the volume, we'll talk about the other one later, to get that right timing. So here we have a grinder. This is the best way to adjust the speed, is to adjust your grinder. Now, there's 2 problems with this. The first one is sometimes we don't have a grinder. Sometimes we buy coffee from a supermarket and it's pre-ground, or we buy it from a coffee roastery and it's pre-ground. So you need to use one of the other methods to adjust the speed at what it comes out. The other issue is that when you've got a cheaper grinder like this one here, or some of the other ones, especially the ones that I use, you need to be able to, in between these 2 spots, use some of the other methods. So at that spot there it might be 19 seconds, at that spot there it may be 30. So you need to set it to the coarser grain and then use one of the other methods. Okay, so what are the other methods? The first one is taking your tamper and actually pressing down a lot harder on your coffee. Pressing down harder on the coffee will slow down the pour. The second method is to actually put more coffee into the portafilter. So you mount it up higher and then you press down on the coffee. Now the 4th one that I added in here is one that we won't be talking about today because we'll have a special video cast about that later. And that is how level or how even or the quality of your tamp. Now what I'm saying is if you were to mount it up to the side and then tamp, you would have more pressure sitting, say, on the left, your right, than the other side. So what would happen, the water would actually shoot down one side of the portafilter a lot faster than the other, so you'd end up with an uneven pour and it would just be blech, and we don't want blech. Okay, let's go and see these things in action. Okay, so let's give this a try. We're inside now and this is my personal coffee machine. It's an Oscar Nuovo Samanelli. It's basically a single boiler heat exchange unit. And what we'll do is we're going to make a shot with the grinder set to 1 notch below what it should be. So I'm going to fill the portafilter up as a standard shot, as I do normally, and then we'll see how fast it comes out, and we'll chuck a little timer on the screen so you can see how long it takes. Okay. Okay, so we've dosed it up, flush the machine, and we'll chuck it in and we'll see how long it takes. Yeehaw! Away she blows! So, generally speaking, that's probably a little bit too fast. So we've almost reached the top and we're stopping. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put that on top there and we'll take a little picture of it. Okay, so we had the first shot. The grinder was set incorrectly, so we're going to change the grinder now and set it to the correct setting. So here we go. We take it 1 notch finder because it came out too fast. Now we'll do a grind, we'll fill the portafilter up just like we did before and give it another burl. Alright, so we rinse the machine out, we put the portafilter in, and let's see how long this one takes. Okay, so that's a much nicer speed, but you'll see now that it's probably going a little bit too slow. So we've only adjusted it by 1 notch on the grinder, so what do we do if we want to get it in between those two? At the moment this is getting closer towards a ristretto shot, but if you want an espresso shot we need to take it back a notch and use one of the other 2 options that we talked about to change the speed. Okay. And we're done. We'll stick it up here and we'll have a wee look at that. Here's a good point. Do you like my little poo kiko salt and pepper shakers? I'm a poo kiko! I'm a poo kiko too! I love you! There you go. Okay, so now we did the shot with the grind set to a finer grind, which means that it went too slow. So we're going to have to take it back 1 notch, and now we're going to put more tamp pressure on it. Okay, so here we go. We'll take it back 1 notch. So we're going back now. So that's back to where it was. So this was the speed that was a little bit too fast. We'll fill it up, and this time we'll put probably more tamp pressure. I don't know how to say more, like a few pounds more, but more tamp pressure. Rah, we'll put more muscle into it. Rah. All right, here we go. Okay, so that's roughly where it was before, and now we'll actually put a lot of pressure on it. So I'm really putting a lot of pressure on it at the moment. Okay, so there it is there. Heaps more pressure. We'll flush it out, which is good practice, and we'll put it in, and we'll see how long this one takes. So remembering we're back to the original setting, and that's still going pretty quick, although from my eyes, and the counter may tell me a lie, but it's going just a little bit slower. So what this tells me is that more pressure isn't going to be enough. What I need to do is put more volume into it. I need to updose it. So there we go. We'll put this up here and we'll have a look at it. Okay, now the final one. What we're going to do this time is we're going to actually put more grinds into the portafilter, so more volume, press it down the same amount we did the first time, and we should see that we hit roughly the spot that we're wanting. So let's give it a go. So we'll put even, so we've got more in there now, so we're not leveling it off. So there, that's pretty even there, all right. And now we'll give it the same temp that we did before. So not heaps of pressure, just a standard temp. Here we go, smooth it off. And this time, we should be right on the money. Or as Jerry Maguire would say, show me the money! And look at that. Now that is the speed that we want it to come out at. So what this shows you is that if you use some of the techniques other than just adjusting the grind, you can get the speed out that you want. And we'll put this up here. We'll have a look at it. Okay, here we go. Now, because this is the best of all the shots that we made, we're going to taste it. Other than being hot, it tastes like an espresso shot. Quite nice. I can taste overtones of wet pebbles and leather and and little midgets running through the woods, crying out to the elves, "Ew, I've got a coffee!" No, actually it tastes quite good. There we go. Okay, so what have we learned? We've learned that to adjust the speed that a shot comes out of the portafilter, you can do one of four things. 1, you can adjust the grind. 2, you can adjust the pressure that you press down on the tamper, so that's the pressure. 3, you can adjust the dosing up, the level that you actually put into the grinder, the portafilter. And finally, you have to make sure that your tamping technique's good. Okay, thanks for tuning in to Snob Free Coffee. My name's Mighty Nigel. Hooah! Snob Free Coffee! Snob Free Coffee! Come here for advice on coffee that's not snobby!